Newsfirst Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.
Good morning and welcome to Newsline, live from the Newsfirst studio in Dorset Street, Colombo. And joining me this morning is my ordinarily gallivanting colleague, Bandula Jayasekari. Good morning to you. Bandula, how's your foot?
It's good, you know, footloose and fancy-free.
And we're also joined, and we're delighted to have on our program, Mr. Vidra Vikramanayake, Member of Parliament. Good morning.
Morning.
Mr. Vikramanayake, and it's lovely to have you on the program. I'd just like to talk about this for a moment. The ICC clears Kusal after tarnishing his image. So says the island. And everybody's talking about this because cricket is the main bridging religion in this country. And isn't it awful that this young man's name and his integrity was questioned, putting him through so much of trauma?
Then ICC should apologize to him.
I think they should apologize. I don't know how much of it can be corrected, because he'll always be known for this accusation. Some people said that it was the fault of the media. We can't agree with that.
Definitely. It's easy to blame the media.
Indeed it is. But talking about bringing matters into disrepute and so on, Mr. Vidra, but what did you think of the events in Parliament last week?
Horrible. In the
Were you
sense
there?
No, I was not. I went for a funeral in Kurunagala. Then on the way, I learned that Parliament has been, because of this brawl, it has been postponed to the following day. But nevertheless, as representatives of the people, we should maintain certain status, and also I believe that we should have self-respect and also to respect the others.
Yeah.
We should be able to take the criticism and those things at a very, very high level. So this is the Parliament.
And on those lines, I was saying, talking to some chap the other day, and he said, how can we achieve reconciliation and all that when the members in Parliament can't respect each other, and they've literally nearly killed each other?
It is not respecting each other, more than that, respecting ideas, views.
Yeah.
But I personally feel this is as an out. Let's say I watched everything on the television.
Yeah.
And what I perceive was, it was an unnecessary speech made by one of the cabinet ministers.
Yeah.
Unnecessary speech.
Yeah.
Which was to be answered in short and sweet by the Prime Minister. That's finished.
Yeah.
And I don't know why the time was allocated to this cabinet minister to view about what he went through, and that is why it is coming back to this person, Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa, if you may allow me to mention the name. Yes. So this is, I don't think that this is purely vindictive. I don't say any reconciliation there. From January 8, 2015, 18 months have lapsed.
Yeah.
So still we cannot, the government has not made any efforts to reconcile the fact that, of course, Mr. Maitripala Sirisena is in power, he is the president, and Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe is as the Prime Minister, he is in power. They have to act on the problems and grievances of this country and the people, not on the personal. They should not be going after politicians personally.
Yes, I mean, it was, of course, the prerogative of who answers the question is on the other side. But in this way, it doesn't really...
That was not an answer.
Yes.
Pardon me for cutting off from
Yeah,
Mr. Farah. That was not an answer. He was reading he was reading out of the context. He was reading of a long answer, not an answer, a speech, which was not due at that, which was not supposed to be. I think that the speaker, with all respect to him, but he should have taken a decision on that, stand on that.
Indeed. Now we're also told, we had Mr. Hemantawardana Surya, attorney, on our program, and he said that the speaker has broken the rules because there was no need or no provision even to appoint this committee and to go that route because it was a fight and there was obstruction of another parliamentarian trying to do his job and so on. It should have been referred to the Attorney General and then to the Supreme Court, that it is only the Supreme Court who can look into this matter. So very blatantly the rules have been flaunted. So how can you expect the general public to stick to the speed limit and respect all sorts of other rules and regulations when the Speaker hasn't done it himself?
True. And also, the funny thing happened a couple of days after, when the vote was taken.
Yes. What is it? They all failed their arithmetic. They can't count. And he wasn't even. They didn't even have to count up to 50. It was only up to 32.
Just imagine the Parliament, which is supposed to be the center of democracy in this country.
The operative word, and you've used it, is supposed.
Supposed.
That's the word, because it isn't in fact. How can it be? Because it's all lopsided.
So that is what I said. Now, if that couldn't be done in the Parliament, then what should be the general public accept? They will expect to do a better job outside. I mean, counting the votes. So this is what is happening. If that happens inside the Parliament, if they cannot, as you said, if they cannot count up to 50 or 60,
yeah,
the total number was 31, 62.
Yeah. But, you know, we've got a viewer who's sending us a message saying that Dinesh, Vimal, Bandula and Gamanpila will not let matters to settle down. It's 18 months, as you said. The people have voted somebody else in. Isn't it time that the rest of these parliamentarians gets together and ask these to shut up or to get out?
And this only Bandula is a SLSP member. There's from
Dinesh, Vimal, Gamanpila and Bandula. I mean, okay, they can raise, there are issues about the security because it concerns them. But it wasn't an exchange. It was an exchange rather than a withdrawal of security for the former president. I mean, is it something worth even talking about? The President of the United States, Mr. Obama, has now announced that he, unlike his predecessors, is going to stay in Washington. He talks about what he will do in retirement and what he may not be able to do and so on. But never once are they talking about his security, because that's a given. The security of the president is given. So why is it that in Sri Lanka this security is used as a tool to try and do this, that or the other? And the former president as guilty as was Mrs. Kumaratunga, and so why this? Why do you all tinker with this security issue?
Personally, I feel that since he was instrumental, he paved the way to end this conflict.
Yeah.
There is a certain thread. I don't say that LTT is completely dead or that was an ideology. LTT was the organization, name of the organization, but there was an ideology behind that. Separate state.
Yeah.
Achieving that.
Yeah.
They had a lot of different means. So, I do still believe that there is a spark. There are sparks that we have to. These are so-called leaders. How many leaders we lost? Tell me how many national leaders we lost.
But Vidra, isn't this a little bit of?
Yeah, but I do agree with you.
In the past, and why
Yes.
are we beating the same drum?
That is it. Now, as you said, Obama will be retiring at the end of this year, and that's it. And nobody, well, he might be if he
It's
appears.
all set down in stone.
But not in Sri Lanka. Not in Sri Lanka. This is a problem. This is another problem.
People don't retire.
People, that is one thing. They don't retire. On the other hand, even if they retire, there should be certain privileges, and that is what I was coming
right.
at. Certain privileges and benefits should be given to them without being asked.
It's I couldn't but help notice when traveling in India at the airport when you're about to enter the checking the area to go into after checking in. There's a big board and it says all these people don't need security checks. Everybody else needs a security check. So it's specified in black and white. The president, the former president, the prime minister, and there's a whole long list. And it's there for everybody to see. It's a big list and it's in, well, it's not really in black and white, it's in color, but it's there, right? So there's no argument. Over here, it's crazy. I was stopped by a traffic policeman for supposedly cutting a white line, but I noticed that there was a convoy in front of me. And I said to him, well, what about, who was that then? There was a double cab and there's something following him. Well, oh, he said, forget that, that's the mayor, the local mayor. I said,
Mayor of Colombo.
No, it wasn't. I was down south. Okay?
Down south.
It wasn't Mr. Muzami.
Yeah.
So I insisted on asking them which part of the Constitution allows them to treat that man differently from me. Needless to say, I wasn't charged thereafter. But why is this double standard being allowed to carry on? Why can't we get on with it? It's 18 months, like you say, and we're still beating this drum about the security of the former president. And everything we do, they say, oh well, it happened in the last regime.
And ordinary people are suffering without the basics.
Exactly, and as our government, the program revealed, there is a vast forgotten people, as we called it, who are suffering and who really don't care tuppence about what these people are doing in Parliament. All they want is they want an opportunity. They are homeless, they are helpless, and they are actually hopeless because there is no opportunity, and these are fighting in Parliament.
I do personally believe that what your sentiments, I do support that. And as you said, the vast majority of this country are forgotten. Vast majority of this country. And I personally believe any motion to close down the Parliament for the next 4.5 years, yes, I'll vote for that. Because at the rate we are going, and just look at the amount of money spent on a single day, or just a single word to appear on the Hansard. That is the ultimate product.
Yeah.
How much money is being spent on this Parliament? For what?
4.5 million a day, wasn't it?
4.5.
On that note, we'll take a short commercial break. Do stay tuned to Newsline. We'll be right back.
Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.
Good morning again and welcome back to Newsline, where we're joined this morning by Mr. Vidra Vikramanayake, Member of Parliament, son of former Prime Minister.
About
Vidra,
closing the Parliament.
Vidra, you
That's the
just said something about a motion to close Parliament. Almost instantaneously, we've had a viewer who's texted me to say, bloody good idea, close the Parliament.
He is proposing it. Would you second it?
What do you think? Do you think? So really, is this country not ready for democracy?
It is ready for democracy.
Yeah.
It is already here. It has taken root, planted there. Now it's growing. But if we are as the representatives of the people, we are not acting upon it, and if we don't perceive it or we don't feel it, so what's the use of having a parliament? What's the use? If we don't act upon the problems and the grievances of the people, if we are not fighting for more privileges and rights for the people and for the country, what's the use of having a parliament?
That's true. Was it the new president of the Philippines who said that he has no confidence that all these corrupt people will be brought before justice, and that instead he's just going to ask the police to kill them, shoot them?
I think that
I don't know if it's not the president of the Philippines. Sorry.
No, it's the president, Mr. Duterte.
Yes.
Who was recently elected.
That's right.
A mayor of Davao.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did the same thing. He claims that he did the same thing.
Right.
In his city. That is how he made, because Davao is situated in another island.
Yeah.
The far-flung island.
Yeah.
Mindanao, and full of conflicts, where the Muslim people, they are more rebels are there, and that is how he brought the city. Then Davao is the sort of the capital in that particular island. And that is how he brought peace and order into that city. If that is the case, let the law of the jungle take place.
A viewer who is obviously a legal man or a woman is telling me to withdraw my statement about killing these people off, because if it actually happens, I'll be blamed.
You didn't say it. You are talking about the president of the Philippines.
That's right.
It's not Faraj Shaukat Ali.
Yeah, I've only repeated it. All right. Don't go and shoot anyone. It's against the law.
Because last time you said you should bring the Sharia law.
Now let's. Why is this the judiciary so slow? Bashir Rajapaksa arrested, investigated, arrested, produced before court, bailed out,
Taken to Matara
and all that, and then bailed out. Is that the end of the matter?
No, it is not the end of the matter. Not the matter. The circus will go on. This is a circus.
Yeah.
Just to show the people that this government, under the disguise of good governance, is doing something to arrest the people, arrest the criminals.
But is it, we're told that there's some matter to do with the purchase of 1.5 acres of land.
As far as my concern is, now they have been in power for the past 1.5 years.
Yeah.
And what have they done so far?
But the thing is that the last nine plus years has been steeped in corruption, if you like, and it has seeped in and it has become entrenched. So it takes somebody with a pneumatic jackhammer to chip away at it, and so therefore it takes time. What about that kind of argument?
I respect your argument, but let me point out this. There are allegations in writing with the commissioner at the bribery about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
What have they done? What have they done?
Well, actually, they appear to have done nothing.
So, and mark my words, all these people, the politicians, will go scot-free at the end of the day. And people of this country will paying compensation.
They're already paying compensation because the 30-year treasury bond is still unresolved in spite of and despite all the assurances that have been made to hold a robust and independent inquiry.
True.
And the people continue to pay, and they will so pay for the next 28.5 years.
Yes.
And so it appears to me that the people, the legislators and the people in charge are all suffering from a form of collective Asperger's syndrome, where they have no pity or understanding of the next man's problem.
Earlier you said there's only one person was
No,
suffering. Now there's others also suffering.
It appears that they're all suffering. It's a new syndrome. It's called collective Asperger's syndrome, and so, you know, to borrow from somebody at Newsfirst, what's going on? What's happening? You all have been elected, Mr. Vikramanayake, and y'all are not delivering, is what the people are saying. What can you do? What will you do?
As I said earlier, the legislators or the politicians are embroiled in their own problems. Like, who is the leader of our faction? Who are following us? How many numbers do we have?
Yeah.
Now, for an example, take the May Day.
Yeah.
Now, still everybody is debating on who had the most numbers. That should not be the issue.
And people are not interested. They have better things to do.
Now, what happened to this VAT issue? This parliament, the embroidery that was brought up. That's it.
So when are the people going to be given some time to breathe? The VAT is a serious matter.
It is a serious matter. It is a very serious
But then, on the
matter.
other hand, let's look at it from their point of view. All this money has been robbed, and they've overspent. There's no revenue. So what can they do apart from raise taxes like this? Is there an alternative? What's the alternative?
No, what is the alternative is, now that is what I was telling you, for the past 18 months, what have they done on this country? Have they planned the economy? Now again, the Prime Minister says, we'll plan it this year, we'll have all the everything and start from the next year. What is this?
We got to start somewhere.
Yeah, I do believe, but we should have started somewhere back.
But like you say, I suppose so many things have become entrenched that, they had to appoint the independent commission.
Mr. Faraz, I don't believe in this. I don't believe in this because I was there for the past 5 years in the parliament, and as the opposition leader, he and also the people who are holding office as cabinet ministers or the deputy ministers or the state ministers, from time to time they have been raising the issue, the voice, and about what? About the mismanagement of the economy, so-called mismanagement of the economy. I don't believe that they didn't know anything about these things.
But their response will be, and has been, that what do you mean we are mismanaging the economy? The economy was completely blasted out of the way by the previous government.
That they knew it. They knew when they came to power, when they elected a new president, the platform, everything, our ears were full of this. So that means they knew the problem. Now what are they telling?
They're grappling with the problem. But really, what is the alternative to raising VAT?
No, why do you want to raise VATs? What are the reasons? We
We're short of money.
We are short of money. Why are we short of money? Catering to a huge cabinet, ministers, deputy ministers. That is money.
So do you think that the part of the family silver should be sold?
Yeah, like what you said, Mr. Faraz, pardon me, this central bond issue.
Yeah.
There is graft and corruption in this country, and done not. I don't say that during the Mahinda Rajapaksa time there was nothing, everything was clean and pure. No,
far from it.
But it is not a license for this government, under the disguise of good governance, to continue that.
But you see, to be fair, don't you think, Mr. Vidura, that the last government had 9+ years to set all these things and entrench it in concrete. And this government are only 18 months. What do you say to that?
Let's say the time period given to a president or a government is 5 years. So what is 1.5 years? So they still haven't planned. 2015 they said we are planning. 2016 now they are telling still we are planning. Now there will be a new set of economic reforms in another month or two, which will be presented to the parliament.
Should they sell the family silver? Should they sell things like all the businesses that the government is in?
No, they
shouldn't
should
be in any. It's not their business to be.
This has been the legacy of the UNP. This is not the UNP of Mr. D.S. Senanayakas. This is not the UNP of even Mr. Kothalaula.
So would you support a move where the government sells off its business interests, like in Sri Lankan Airlines, all sorts of other businesses?
That shows the incapability of the government to handle it. Nothing else.
But shouldn't the government only be worried about creating an ambience for people to have a better opportunity, like have the roads, the water, the electricity, the utilities, and so create the framework.
You mean the services?
Yes, and then get out of all these. This government, I can't think of one institution that is profitable. Not just this government. Governments since independence, there is no publicly owned business that has made financial sense.
How can they be profitable when there is so much graft and corruption and wanton wastage of money?
Which is why they should sell it. Do you agree?
Then the number one, the first place is to sell parliament. Sell the parliament. Then the Prime Minister's office.
Right.
Then the Ministry of Agriculture. Sell it. Whether privatize or whatever it is. The farmers have been planting, cultivating, doing whatever they has to do without the help of Ministry of Agriculture or any of these institutes.
Well, they're not being very much helpful. If you go, the government, the program revealed stacks and stacks and stacks of paddy that was unsold.
Yes.
So, on that note, we've come to the end of a eventful 29 minutes of the program. Thank you very much,
Thank you very
Mr.
much.
Vidra Vikramanayake, for being on there. Thank you, Bandula. Hope your leg's better. Thank you for watching Newsline. We wish you a good day ahead, a great weekend. Take care and God bless.
Newsfirst Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.